Warning. This program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to your uncensored home for all things Warcraft. With your hosts, Berzerker and Navox. This is Unshackled Fury.
We're taking a walk on the wild side once again as we ready ourselves for BlizzCon Patch 8.3 and all the rest that has yet to be revealed. Welcome to episode 61 of the Unshackled Fury podcast, your uncensored home for all things Warcraft. I am your host, Berzerker, with my Yeti at the ready, and that's right, I'm still going to be obnoxious about this. And with me, as always, is the Jason Voorhees to my Freddy Krueger. He is Navox. Welcome back again, sir.
See, hey, I got that one. I don't always get your references, but you know, the Jason and Freddy I'm good with. So
you managed to show that slight difference in our ages by not getting some of these references, and it really does worry me from time to time. But glad to have you here with me, sir. But it's not just you and me. Once again. This week, we have yet another visitor to Planet Rage. You may know him from the Morally Gray podcast. He is the imbiber of ales from across all realms, alive and dead. And he is our guest today. He is Jin. Welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, well, thanks. Glad to be here. I'm not actually drinking any ale because we'll do that later.
It is a high point of disappointment for me because I really wanted to ask you about what sort of Gorilla Fart Misty IPA something that you're drinking tonight, but I see a clear glass there and it is disappointing.
Well, I can tell you what I drank last night and what I will be drinking in about an hour or two.
Well, I don't want to spoil the surprise for your own show because I know Fear always looks forward to that announcement, so I don't want to get in the way of that bromance, because I know how important that is. So
yeah, it's true. He's always like, "Oh, what you drinking?"
He seems more excited about it than you do.
Well, we did have a recent episode. It may have been a Q&A or something that we did, and he actually kind of pegged me real good, where he's like, yeah, Jen doesn't really usually get excited about things. This is typically his level of excitement. He'll turn around with a smile on his face and say, "Hey, I'm pretty excited right now."
Yeah, your energy level is unstoppable. That's one thing that I've really noticed listening to your show is that, man, you're shot out of a cannon 24/7.
Absolutely.
All right, so listen, for folks that don't know who you are, perhaps, or maybe don't know your show, give us a little rundown on your podcast, because if folks don't know, they should know. This is quite a healthy resource for lore, if that's your vibe. So go ahead and tell the folks about what you got going on.
Sure. I think the easiest way to explain it is, if you like the show Drunk History, it's kind of like that. But rather regular history, it's about Warcraft history. I've kind of ripped off all sorts of things from other things that I enjoy, like we're incredibly vulgar and we say fuck a lot, like in Lagging Balls. It's fun. And someone described the show best, I think. They said, Morally Gray, it brings the lore without the bore. So there you go.
There you go.
So yeah, it is a show where we go from the very beginning, and we just keep talking about the story in complete chronological order. So yeah.
And as of late, you're up to about the Rise of the Horde era, yes?
That's correct.
Okay.
We are right there smack dab in the middle middle-ish, beginning-ish of Rise of the Horde. About 100 or so pages in. So that's
I was listening to it on the way home from work today, and I will say that fear got me because I do literally crack up when I listen to some of these podcasts. But when he was talking about the Talbot hunt, and he said he just put the did he just put the when you guys were talking about intimidating shout, he's like, well, did you just put the Talbot face mask on and go? And I was like, I lost it at that point. I was like, that's pretty good. You guys are very entertaining. I do enjoy the show thoroughly. So
yeah, the noise he made. Was,
yeah, that was
definitely. It was like, oh
yeah.
Yeah, that has a very warrior-esque vibe to it. So I certainly appreciated the retelling of going out and getting your first kill and smearing blood on yourself, and not doing it the chintzy cheap way like some people were doing it. You're going out there going whole ass, not half ass. So that was great. So you do this show, and you've been doing this now for 1 year. How long have you been doing this now?
January 1st of 2019 is when we started.
Not even a whole year yet.
Oh, wow.
No. Yeah, so we decided that we were going to make it really easy on ourselves and go, ooh, when's our anniversary? It's January 1st.
And what made you guys decide to do this in the first place?
Really, it came down to I was looking for a show or something or some type of resource that laid everything out in chronological order, and it didn't really exist.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can do that. So there we
that
go.
right there is the genesis
Nice.
of most shows. It's I'm looking for something and I don't hear it and I want to make it, so there you go. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And I listen to it too. It actually makes me laugh. So I don't know what that says about me, but I laugh at our own stupid jokes. So.
Dude, I laugh at our own stupid jokes too. Like I'll go back and listen. I love doing that. It's great.
Yeah, if you're making something that's entertaining yourself and your friends, I mean, really that's the point. And that's kind of the way that I've always looked at this show is no matter how many people we have listening to the show, there's about 3 people that I have in mind as to who I'm catering for, and the 2 of them are in the screen with you right now. So that's pretty much how that works. But so you and I, just to kind of get to why you're here on the show today, you and I don't know, somehow come across each other on the interwebs and social media and whatever, and making stupid comments to each other, but you and I are actually going to be in the same place at the same time in real life in just a few days at the Amon Amarth concert at the Warfield in San Francisco. Friday night's going to be off the hook.
That's true.
As the kids say.
I will be there. It's gonna be a good time.
Now, are you going to be there for all 4 opening bands, or are you coming in late like a cool guy, or what's your plan when you get there?
When it comes to concerts, I was like, I appreciate seeing all the shows, even if I don't enjoy them. I will be there, and I will at least try and support them in terms of, I'll watch. I'll actually pay attention. I'm not going to be one of those dickheads that's always sitting around talking and like, oh, how's it going? I just got here. Shut up. Band's playing, jackass. Come on.
Yeah, there's a guarantee that you will see some real interesting shit opening up for other bands, big metal bands, smaller metal bands. You will see some stuff you will see nowhere else.
I've been to a couple of metal shows before, so I'm looking forward to it.
Who do you have going with you?
Fear's going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's coming up from the great city of Reno, so he's got a little bit more of a drive than me.
Well, the Silver State has its own charms, so I'm glad that he can bring those with him. Well, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you there, and we will meet up, folks. There will be some kind of picture on the Twitter or a thing or something, so we'll find a way to make it happen, because God knows, and I know, that's what the people are clamoring for. Desperately. So we do have a lot of news to cover this week, and we're going to get into all kinds of 8.3 nonsense. We got, the various bits and pieces that were announced, and we're going to throw our 2 cents in on top of all that. We got BlizzCon, we got another contest running, we got a whole bunch of other stuff. But first, well, our poor Nav has been slighted in a way that I cannot reasonably express myself. So it's up to Nav this time to take the wheel of this Rage Hall powered machine in our rage portion of the show. So why don't we head into that?
Let's rage.
So, Nav, we had a great calamity befall you as of late.
Yeah.
There was an item that you and I were
Yes.
very excited about, and the community at large was very excited about some time ago.
Stoked. Yep.
This was the 15th anniversary collector's edition of World of Warcraft. It came in a gigantic box. It was very fancy. It had this gigantic, awesome Ragnaros statue. My
look
God.
at that.
Look at, he dances.
Oh,
He
that's
dances.
awesome.
He dances. Came with all kinds of cool stuff, mounts and things, and, stuff for other people to hate, I guess. But you and I had gone, and we had searched all high over hill and dale to find where we could get one of these things, and we ended up having to go with your dreaded resource known as the GameStop. And
Yep.
had to give
Oh, yeah.
them our hard-earned money, which is it's hard to do, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, so that's where we ended up. Now,
Oh, yeah.
I, having just waved my Ragnaros statue, and that's not a euphemism, around at the people on this stream, clearly I got mine. But Nav, what in God's name of all things of creation happened to you?
Oh, I wish I knew what happened to mine because you and I talked about ordering it at the same exact time.
Yep.
And you ordered yours, I ordered mine. I'm looking at an order confirmation here from GameStop on May 22nd. I'm looking at the receipt from GameStop and my payment choice on the same date. Well, during the shipment, I mean, they were good at like a Seinfeld episode. They were good at taking the order, but they weren't good at being able to deliver it to me because those motherfuckers fucked me over. You said that I was slighted. Nay, I was bent the fuck over on this one. And then when I called the fucking customer support line, they give me a fucking story. I call the customer support line because I go out there on Twitter. I'm like, hey, you fuck nuts. You guys canceled my fucking order right on the day it's supposed to ship. Oh, well, sir. Oh, I can see the order right here. Yeah, I can see you ordered it back in April. I'm like, nope, that's not it. That's not it. Sorry, not April. Looking at the order right here, May 22nd, right here. Here it is. Okay, well, yeah, the payment was declined. I'm like, nope, that's false. That's false too because I've got the receipt right here with the payment and the credit card information. Let me talk to a manager. And they're like, I could tell fucking GameStop's in a call center somewhere. I can tell they're in a call center. They're not even, I mean, the noise in the background. It's not some professional fucking call center. They're somewhere else. And I said, hey, let me talk to a manager. So they put me through to a manager and I get the same spiel again. They're like, well, you're going to have to take it up with customer service through email. So I email them. And they email me back and go, hey, we want to take care of this. Call this number. I call the number right back to the fucking call center. I will never, ever, ever deal with GameStop again. They took my order. They canceled the order. They lied to me. And then they proceeded to tell me and get angry at me when I told them, listen, I've got my fucking receipts right here. You guys are obviously in the wrong here. Oh, we're not in the wrong. I said, well, you canceled my order. You took my order. And here's everything. Here are the three things that I have right here.
Yeah.
I said, I can fax them. I can get them over to you. They're like, well, we had to cancel the order. I said, well, okay, fine. If you had to cancel the order.
Why, though? Why?
What was the problem? The payment was declined. Are you fucking kidding me right now? The payment wasn't declined. It wasn't declined because it went through. So at that point, I had to get in contact with PayPal. Got the funds all taken care of at that point. And so I am Sans Collector's Edition. So fuck you very much, GameStop. Never doing business with you again. Yeah. Not even gonna be an app. Not even a thought in the future. Like fuck you all. And I've been out to the Reddit page, and the manager's like, well, you should come into the store if you want something. No, fuck y'all. It's 2019. I can order shit from the internet and have it delivered to my door. Obviously not through GameStop though. So
and God knows they don't want you angry in a physical store.
Oh God, I'm like a bull in a china shop.
Lord.
I knock over all those fucking Japanese standees in there. Like seriously, I just go nuts and just knock over cardboard.
Be like Godzilla in that place.
Oh my God.
Mowing through
You think
downtown.
Nazoth is bad? Wait till you see my fucking tentacles go through some. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I was pretty hot. Took me a little bit to cool off. I was at work too, so people a quarter mile down in the building heard me upset. And they're like, you sound a little upset today. I was like, yeah. They're like, what was wrong? And then I told them, like, why lie? I'm like, I ordered a World of Warcraft collector's edition. Oh, they're like, oh, World of Warcraft? What's that? I'm like, shut up. Why'd you ask me? What's wrong? Like, seriously.
Sucks to be you, nerd. These first world problems are a real bitch.
Exactly. This is all first world problems. Exactly. That's exactly it.
Well, thanks a lot, Nav. We are never going to get that GameStop sponsorship I've been pining away for all these years.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
I think we're better off without it.
Yeah, probably are.
Because you know what? Unlike GameStop, we can actually deliver, and we're doing a show right now. So I mean, that'll get put out. We're not doing a show and then not being like, oh, sorry, we're not putting the show out.
That's true. And
The show's canceled. Sorry. Canceled it.
you paid for it, but fuck you. That's pretty bad. I have to say that there are a lot of really shitty things that companies can do to screw somebody out of a buck. And that's pretty bad. I gotta say that's full raw dog.
I mean, honest to God, I'm just glad I got the funds. You know, the funds are back. You know, it was just silly. I made sure that everything was in order just so that I could get this item. So it was gonna be my first. It was gonna be my second collector's edition thing. So I got my first collector's edition here, but I didn't get the second one. So. Hey, I'll get the collector's edition of the next game that's coming out too, so we'll see about that.
There's another game.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh shit. Nobody told me. Well, Jen, I hope you've learned something today.
Yeah, don't order from GameStop.
I haven't bought anything from GameStop since StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty.
I think the cutoff was like high school. I think that was the age you just stopped going into GameStop, because it was like, oh, cool, we could trade our games, and how much you want to give me for the game? Oh, here, I'll give you $1 for the game.
30 cents.
It's fucking brand new. What are you talking about? I just bought it yesterday. It's the games in the store have like the depreciation of like a new car coming off the lot. It's like, here you go.
Worse than that, it's like selling a motorhome. Like, you paid $150,000 for this yesterday. I'll give you $350. Congratulations, you got fucked.
The toilet was used. That's why.
Yeah, somebody took a shower in this thing. It's been red tagged. Get out of here. Well, Nav, I'm sorry, man. I hope that Amazon or somebody else could come through for you, but that was truly one of the all-time screw jobs, and didn't even involve Vince McMahon. So I'm sorry it didn't happen. But you know what? You never know. The next one could be right around the corner here, and we'll get you the hookup next time. We'll start a GoFundMe or something and make sure that gets put through. So.
Little Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah. Oh God. Save heroic strike. All right. I think that'll wrap it up, because I have no other anger to express at this situation, because it was all you, Nav, and Jen, you're shrugging over there.
I didn't even want the damn statue, to be honest. I don't like clutter. Like, it's just more shit on my desk. I don't need it.
There you go.
You know what? I appreciate that minimalist approach. I will never have it, but I appreciate it. So. All right, with that out there in the open and screwing over any chance of us ever being sponsors or brand ambassadors for GameStop, let's go ahead and jump into our news, where we can talk about Visions of N'Zoth and everything else we've got in the run-up to BlizzCon 2019. All right, so after much speculation, we've had all kinds of supposed leaks running wild, and we're talking Shadowlands and all kinds of other crazy horseshit going on.
Yeah.
We finally got a sense of where we're going in this game, because lo and behold, out of nowhere comes the great Eon Hazakostas with patch 8.3 Visions of N'Zoth announcement video. Now, there's some other stuff about Classic, but we don't really talk about Classic here. It's not a Classic podcast. You want a Classic podcast, go to Countdown to Classic. I'm sure they're still counting down and playing it at the same time, and I'm sure they're doing a great job. So,
Morley Gray's still in Classic too.
Yeah, he's not even in Classic yet. He's almost RTS days.
Before Classic, that's right.
Way back.
Yeah,
way back.
We're pretty close. We're 12 years away from invasion. Only 12. So close.
Once Thrall starts escaping those gladiator pits, shit gets real crazy.
Yeah.
Real crazy.
Timeline just crawls after that.
Caverns of Time. Here we go. Yes, 8.3, Visions of N'Zoth. N'Zoth is free. That's no longer in dispute. We saw his chains broken. I don't know if it's a he or a she or an it or whatever, but N'Zoth is free. Chains have been broken. We saw that at the end of the last tier. There was a nice little cinematic. He's off running wild. We saw a video. There's tentacles and all kinds of crazy things up in the sky. There's eldritch horrors running amok. And we're finally going to see N'Zoth in its full-blown glory, which is not something that we have ever seen before. We were talking about this right before we started recording. I thought it was Chris Metzen. Apparently it was Alex Afrasiabi who first spoke the name N'Zoth at a BlizzCon Q&A in 2010. So that's how long it's been since it was first sort of trickled out there, almost accidentally if you watch this thing. They weren't quite sure whether or not they should tell us, but they told us. N'Zoth was essentially the old god we've been waiting for. And correct me if I'm wrong, I thought we were going to see him way back in Cataclysm. Like they were talking about something in the deep and under the water, and we were going to see something. Nope.
That's what they were talking about at the time. And they're in that little video. Is they're like, so Cho'Gall was doing this thing in the Twilight Hammer, and why did they do this? And then Alex is like, we just tell him. Just tell him. Zoth.
And there it is. And then all these years later, we've seen these machinations at work. No boss. He's just hiding out in the back like all bosses, directing and not actually being seen. So good management there by the old god setup there. But with N'Zoth breaking free, we've got his minions. We've got his sort of realm of nightmares, the alternate world known as Ny'alotha coming forth. Ny'alotha, the sleeping city, as it's been called in some places. It's had a few different names over the years. It's this kind of alternate version of Azeroth that is a dark, horrible, nightmarish version that we frankly don't want to see, but we're going to see parts of it anyway. And for us as players, we've got a whole bunch of stuff tied to that. But for you folks, and maybe for you, Jen, since you're a lore guy here, why is N'Zoth such a big deal? Like, where have we heard about this guy other than because we heard about it with Cho'Gall, but this guy's been everywhere. It seems like there's always been whispers of N'Zoth, or at least for the last several expansions worth. And from your perspective, why is it such a big deal that we're finally seeing this guy now?
Well, it's really such a big deal because, yeah, he's kind of been like the weird puppet master in the background the entire time where, you know, he's technically the one who corrupted Deathwing. He's the one who turned Ashara into a Naga. He's the one that's been, you know, corrupting Cho'Gall when he first came to Azeroth. Like, he's got his hands in many cookie jars. Because he's got a lot of tentacles, so he can reach a lot of cookie jars. He's really big, so you know he's an old god. He does old goddy things, and the whole purpose of why he came here is because the Void Lords were like, oh no, we need to corrupt things, and because they wanted to corrupt a Titan, yeah, and they were like, psst, hey Titan, come on, Void's cool, and it didn't work, so they're like, hey, let's go ahead and corrupt a Titan while it's still gestating, if you will. So they released all these old gods, and that's what they do, and they're trying to corrupt a Titan, so they're trying to corrupt Azeroth.
Now, is it, and maybe you can help explain this for me, but I was under the impression at some point that some old gods either could or could not be destroyed because in doing so it would actually hurt the nascent Titan Azeroth inside the planet. Now, was that just Ysarge? Was that also N'Zoth? Was that a couple of them, or am I just making shit up here?
No, you're right. I mean, but the reason why is it's more of a... They're so embedded into the crust of the planet that, you know, killing it would wind up doing all sorts of things. Because the only example we have to point to is Ysarge. And the way Ysarge was quote-unquote killed, I mean, he still had some yucky bullshit laying around in the form of the Shah and his heart and crap like that, was when the Titan Aman'Thul was like, fuck this noise, and he just ripped him out of the planet. And he created the Well of Eternity. Whoopsie daisy. So basically, he almost killed the planet in the process of plucking the tick from the planet's surface. So it's like, it's a nasty exit wound, basically, as he rips the thing right out. It's kind of like, you don't want to just pull the arrowhead out. It's kind of like that.
You just got to stem that blood flow. Just leave it in.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So that's really the reason why is they're just these massive corruption, nasty, tentacly things that once you yank them out, bad shit happens.
Is that why we're leaving the giant sword in Silithus? Is because if we pull it out, it's going to make it worse?
I think that's just someone dropped the ball on that one.
Forgot to clean it up.
Magni's like, do you know what to do? It's like, fuck no, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm making this shit up as I go.
I got some really big stitches, and we're going to need a shit ton of weave to make this happen, so you better get on it.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Well, now, in reading the description of what Ny'alotha is supposed to be, this kind of alternate version of Azeroth, I know to me and a lot of other people, probably you guys too, perhaps you guys too, it seems like there is a real similarity between the way Ny'alotha is described and the way the Emerald Dream was described at one point. It's sort of being... Emerald Dream was, I guess, the original version, like the saved original blueprint of Azeroth if nothing had ever come and it totally uncorrupted the whole thing. Whereas Ny'alotha, it doesn't sound like it's necessarily a preserved version, like it's not like a snapshot in time. It's our current version, so it's more like the upside down, kind of the Stranger Things sort of vibe that it seems to change with time. But Nav, for you, do you think that there's a connection between the Emerald Dream and Ny'alotha, or is it just simply alternate realities and that's just kind of how it is?
I mean, I know N'Zoth is responsible for the Emerald Nightmare. I know he's responsible for that. He's responsible for the spark that started the Emerald Nightmare.
No, Jin's over there shaking his head.
Oh, he's not Jin?
It was Yogg-Saron, actually. Sorry. It was still an old god, but it was actually Yogg-Saron that did it. It was actually Fangel Staghelm that fucked everything up for everybody, because what he went and did is he went and planted a world tree out there in Grizzly Hills, and the roots burrowed so deep into Northrend that it actually broke a little part of Yogg-Saron's prison, and Yogg was like, hey buddy, what's this? And it allowed him to tap in to the Emerald Dream, because it was a world tree, and world trees are special.
Now, there's hold on, because there's also there's a significant thing out at Darkshore that is, it's called the Master's Glaive, and it depicts this axe coming down on it's the Titan that killed an old god back there, right? I mean, that's it's like
stabbed him in the head.
Like, it's like but that also has tentacles out there, right? I mean, it's like,
yeah, we don't know what that is though.
So is that one of the old gods that we just don't know about?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that was Xalatath. Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, there's... And Nav and I, you and I were talking about this
yes,
a little bit earlier.
That's what I wanted to get to. Yes.
The old gods are kind of like their own species, sort of. They belong to this whole other sort of group of beings or whatever they are. And these seem to be the ones that have gravitated towards us, but there's more of whatever they are out there somewhere.
Yeah, but I was saying, I think, we've got the 5 dragon aspects that correspond with right now we know of 4 old gods, but maybe the 5th one is the one that was, killed on Darkshore. So I don't know if it's like there's some sort of balance there.
Well, Gahun was kind of like a pseudo old god. That was like a proto made in a lab one, I think.
Yeah, that was.
And then there was Hakar, who was not really an old god. It's just
he's a Loa.
Yeah. But I know that everything we're doing so far I feel like everything we're doing is undoing all of the safety things that are put in place. Like it's even been said, like everything we've like we just, defeated Ashara, broke the chains. Hey, we let him out. Well, we were doing this back in, on Courage. We were doing this back in Ulduar. We were doing, we're the parasite. We're the destructive people for Azeroth right now, and we're charging up this thing around our neck that we're convinced is bad.
I'm convinced the worst thing to ever happen to Azeroth was the players. We're a bunch of morons.
I've read through the forums. I would agree with you. We are definitely one of the worst things to happen to Azeroth. There's no question about that. So, yeah, they've talked about the corruption and the nightmare and those sorts of things in the past, and I think that was part of what we dealt with in Legion, right? It was going in there and cleaning up and doing all that kind of stuff. So I know I've seen these theories out there, but it seems to me like we're talking about sort of separate entities here between Ny'alotha and the Emerald Dream. But it is interesting that you have one that is a corrupted version and one that is a sort of a pristine version. And I wonder, although I'm having serious doubts that this is the way that it's going to play out, but I'm wondering if you could somehow take portions of the dream to, I don't know, bring them in to repair what can't be repaired. Because let's face it, at this point, our planet is really screwed up. Like, it's only getting worse. We have a giant sword sticking through it. We've got the planet bleeding its own blood all over the place. And now, let's talk about one of the new features that's coming in 8.3. We're having something called assaults, where minions of N'Zoth are going to be assaulting Titan facilities. And they've been very specific about this. Titan facilities, that there's going to be these rifts between the two worlds. And we're going to see them. And we're going to go venture through these rifts between our world and Ny'alotha. And we're going to battle some minions, because that's what we do. We love to battle minions. And when there is one of these rifts or assaults that are active in a zone, we're going to go in there. We're going to defeat these forces, hopefully. There'll be some unnamed treasures and puzzles. Always looking forward to treasures and puzzles. I hope there's a jumping puzzle, because Lord knows I love getting killed to those time and again. But the two examples that they gave, and I thought that this was interesting, was that they said Uldum and Vale of Eternal Blossoms were two of the locations that were going to be under, I guess, constant assault. And as we talked about before, Nav, that Vale of Eternal Blossoms finally is going to be repaired. It's going to have all of the goings-on from Miss Pandaria undone, which is nice. At least until it's assaulted and it looks like hot garbage again, and then we got to save them. But that was one of the things that they talked about specifically, Titan facilities. It's the Titan facilities that are going to provide the avenue through which we learn about not just Ny'alotha, but N'Zoth, and try to understand N'Zoth better. And so they're going after these facilities, as a way to prevent us from gaining that knowledge. Now, with Uldum and Vale of Eternal Blossoms being named as two of these locations, of course, it's got me thinking, hopefully you guys too, about what other locations we could see these at. Number one on my mind, Ulduar. Ulduar is still, to me, the greatest Titan complex, but that's on like the macro scale. There's also a bunch that are a lot smaller than that. I think Vault of Archivon is considered to be a Titan facility, and it's a smaller place. All throughout Storm Peaks and places you can sneak into and you see some machinery. But for you, let's start with you, Jen. What other facilities do you think could come into play with these assaults?
The first one that probably comes to my mind is Oldmon.
That's going way back.
That was a Titan facility. That's where, you can find the discs of Norganon. Yeah, and beyond that, I would probably go with Sholazar Basin as another one, as well as Ungaro Crater. Those are the other ones that I would think of, because Ungaro Crater, Sholazar Basin, and Vale of Eternal Blossoms were basically areas where the energies from the Well of Eternity kind of coalesced, and they were like, "Ooh, lots of life springing up here." So it was kind of Freya's playground. So if it's happening in the Vale, it could be happening in those other two places as well.
Now, do you have like an elevator speech of what the discs of Norganon are?
Yeah, it's Norganon's mixtape. The disc. No, it's when the Titans said, "All right, guys, we did our job. We're gonna head on out of here. We're gonna leave it to the Titan Keepers." They decided it was Norganon and there we go. It was Loken and some other dude, Mimiron. Yeah, Loken and Mimiron. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and create these discs of Norganon, and it is going to record all of history while you are gone." So it's like the greatest record keeper ever, but Loken corrupted them, so they're not that good anymore. So
he scratched that record too many times and fucked it up.
Well, when you try and fall in love with your brother's wife, and then You don't want people finding out about it. You just had to sabotage the discs and be like, no, that didn't happen. What are you talking about?
Trying to go back and erase the security video just never works out. You're never going to get away with it. How about you, Nav? What locations do you think we're going to see come under assault? What Titan locations should we put a few extra guards at?
Now, Titan locations or just world locations? Because I have a feeling we're going to see it in a couple different world locations, not just the Titan locations.
Probably, but Titan facilities was like the thing that they focused on because of the benefit to us. Plus, I assume it's because we've stopped it from happening a couple of times. I still think those Titan facilities could wipe everybody out and reset everything.
I mean, Mother's ready to kill us in a heartbeat. I mean, she's there, she's ready. She's like...
That's specifically the one. That's the one in Oldham. That's the Halls of Origination. That is, as we lovingly call, the beep boop. That's the reset switch.
There you go. Always looking to fuck us up. So what do you think, Nav? Where are we going?
Oh, I actually think we're going to see a lot of Eastern kingdoms and things like Dust. I honestly feel like we're going to see some of these the more corrupted areas, the ones that like Duskwood, for example, or Terracefall Glades, things that have been in the past where people have gotten mad just being in the zones because an old god supposedly either lives underneath or something like that. I think we're going to see more of those zones under attack, things like that. So that's where, especially Duskwood, because I was looking, I went down the rabbit hole again today and I was looking at things like the Twilight Grove
those rabbits.
Is there. You got the Twilight Grove, you've got, where, got Tyranda's story and in also in Duskwood you have the Scythe of Elune is there or something like that, and I'm glad we're finally getting to this point because it actually makes the story a little more fun for me because I wasn't really big into the whole lore thing till very recently. And by recently, I mean up to when we started doing the show, I started getting more and more into the lore of this. And then looking back, I start looking back at the past raids and the past expansions, and I'm like, God, we've been this has been a buildup of all of this stuff that we've been doing since, classic at this point. It's silly to think that, but yeah, I mean.
Well, kind of to Jen's point earlier, we have an old god coming out that has had a tentacle, maybe perhaps instead of a hand, in a lot of the machinations that have gone on throughout the gameplay, at least that we've experienced in recent expansions. I suppose you could go back as far as you want. I mean, there's been old god influence for quite some time, maybe not specifically N'Zoth, but it's been out there. So we're going to do these assaults, and we're, going to have the benefit of trying to clean up and save whatever place it is, whether it's a Titan facility, another land, whatever it is. But one of the things that they mentioned, that Ian specifically mentioned, was that we're not only going to be doing that, but we're going to be going into N'Zoth's mind somehow by doing this, which I'm not really excited about because I don't know, that sounds really bad, and I already have to go to therapy once before. What's that?
I said we've already done that once before. We were in Yogg Saron's brain.
Yeah, and how bad was that? You know how many times I wiped in there? It was terrible. It was awful. I'm reliving that nightmare constantly.
It was more of those damn green clouds that got us.
Oh, God. Really.
Who the fuck stepped in the cloud?
If you don't have particle densities turned up, you better get the fuck out of my raid. That's all I got to say. So, yes. So, we're going to be doing these assaults, going into N'Zoth's mind and seeing the reality that he wants to bring forth upon Azeroth. And so, we ask ourselves, what is that reality? Not just going into some void tunnels and seeing what's going on. They're introducing what they're calling the major new feature. Not just any feature. The new feature. The new major feature called Horrific Visions. This is going to be 1 to 5 player content, and it will be centered around really trashed alternate versions, horrifically nightmared versions of Orgrimmar and Stormwind. And what they will show us is what happens if we don't win, if we don't succeed. If N'Zoth wins, what we're going to see in there is what is going to pass. And we were given some maps, looked at some maps, and saw, okay, yep, it's pretty corrupted all the way around. It doesn't look like we can venture out too far into the dockyards of Stormwind, but at least the rest of the city seems to be taken over. A good chunk of the sort of front 2/3 or 3/4 of Orgrimmar seems to be taken over, so it's pretty good. And then in the background you can see big giant tentacles and all kinds of crazy stuff, which again makes me wonder how we're going to defeat. And even though I kind of already know, because there's spoilers out there, people be careful, how we're going to defeat a gigantic boss that has tentacles the size of mountains, but somehow we'll figure it out.
Why couldn't they roll this stuff out like now, like right around Halloween time? Let's get into it. Like, give us some corruption during Halloween time. It's silly.
We have Hallows End.
I know,
How
but
dare
still.
you? Honor the gods.
The Headless Horseman? Come on.
So we're going to be getting these horrific visions, and we're going into Orgrimmar or Stormwind. We're going to have to try to defeat N'Zoth. But here's the sort of central point of all of this, is that we now have, at long last, a legendary being added into this expansion. We had no word of anything up to this point, whereas in years past, it was Fangs of the Father, or it was Shadowmourne, or it was some staff that we had to help run a bunch of guildies through that I still don't even know what that thing does, but it's something to do with the dragon. But we're back, and guess what we're making, guys? We're making another cloak, because Wrathion apparently is a tailor. He's a max level tailor, and this is what we do.
Wrathion loves cloaks.
He loves cloaks. And we're getting these cloaks to do what? Why are we getting these cloaks? Why is a cloak such a big deal, even though, they're pretty fashionable and I'd wear one around just because it looks cool? No, it's because when you go into these horrific visions of Orgrimmar or Stormwind, you will succumb to N'Zoth's relentless assault on your mind, and you will lose your sanity, and you won't be able to make it very far. And they claim that a bunch of crazy mechanical and cosmetic things will happen to you. That sounds very off-putting. But what you will be able to do is go into these visions. Somehow you're going to collect something, some kind of knowledge or pieces of eldritch horror. I'm not quite sure. You're going to bring them back. And over time, you are going to build and then empower this legendary cloak, which they have recently given a name to. And I'm going to try to pronounce this name. I'm sure I'm going to fuck it up, but we're going to pronounce it anyway as Ajra Kamas.
Sure.
You guys are free.
Don't ask.
They had a much easier name to say, but apparently this is what they've come up with. So we're going to make this legendary cloak, and over time it's going to unlock various powers. It's going to allow us to venture further into these horrific visions, clear them out, and then eventually, ultimately, this cloak will have something to do with our final battle against N'Zoth. So somehow it's going to be of great use in that final fight. So for you, Nav, we've got the legendary. It's out there. We've got these horrific visions, and this is all tied together as again, they're claiming the new major feature of this patch. What are your thoughts on finally getting this legendary and how it's essentially going to be implemented?
Well, I can't wait for the grind, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to be just a grind, another grind. We play WoW, it's a grind. I like getting legendaries. I like that they've done just the one legendary this time around instead of everybody getting legendaries at random times of the playing the game that we got in Legion. Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this thing, or like for dual classes, are we going to have is the cloak going to switch off, based on being a tank class or a heal class or an DPS class, things like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I can take it or leave it, man. At this point, I can take it or leave it at this point in the game. Great. It's not gonna. Okay, so I need this thing so I don't go crazy and grow hands out of my head. Cool. Fire it up. I'm on board. Let's do this. So
they had mentioned that the idea behind all of this is that this is sort of an extension of the mage towers that we had in Legion, where it's this kind of solo content where you're rocking and rolling on your own, and you're able to, achieve some sort of goal or power or something. Is that going to fill that kind of gap for you, Jen? Do you feel like this is something that you're pining away for? This is the solo content that's going to fill the gap for you between now and whatever's coming next?
I don't know. It could be. It's as long as I don't have to grind a rep. Like it's I'll grind something, but rep, that's like, okay, Jesus.
Well, does this feel like and I guess this is one of the other comments that I've seen is, does this feel like something that's organic to the story that we've been told, kind of the feeling of where we've been going or how this is being presented to us? Or do you think that this is just sort of a, not to, no pun intended, but just sort of a ginned up item that they've jammed in at the last minute to try to get people interested?
Oh, I don't think this is to get people interested. I think the people that are, I don't think people who've stopped playing are going to hear, oh my God, a legendary cloak, I'm coming back to the game. I don't think that'll pull people back in. I think it's for the people that are still playing right now. Just add some content to it, gets us, Well,
maybe not the legendary aspect of it, but the solo play aspect of it, right? Because now it's an individual challenge that you can do. And if it's one thing that seems to be kind of the way the game has paced out at this point, is that people consume it all at one time, maybe over a month or two. They drop out for a bit and then they come back when there's kind of a swell. I don't know. What's your, I guess, what's your pattern of play like, Jin? Are you a raider by trade? Do you just kind of pop in and out? Like, what's your vibe in the game?
I'm usually a raider. Lately, I've not had a ton of time to raid, with work and all this crazy crap. But yeah, I'm just excited for 8.3 and as a whole package. So I can't really say that I'm like, oh my God, the legendary cloak, it's gonna be great. It's like, I don't care. They're gonna give you more stuff to do. I don't give a shit. It's gonna be fun.
Is there anything in particular about the patch that jumps out to you more than the others?
Yeah, I actually am looking forward to the assaults. Like that thing, it does look like a pretty cool thing, especially the way it's for players between 1 to 5. Mm-hmm. So you can go in there with like, hey, you guys want to go do an assault? And you don't really need to find anybody but like maybe one other person. But if you still have friends, you can still do it. So it's fine. So, yeah.
It is tough, I think, for them to try to find that balance.
Yeah, so from what I heard, listening to some other people talk about it, is that it's pretty decent content. The only thing that you might struggle with if you're trying to go in there solo is there's like a res kind of mechanic. So you can't actually res yourself. So you might want to at least go in there with just one buddy. That's basically what they were saying.
Ooh. So you just run out the clock and that's it.
Yeah, if you're going by yourself, you're just gonna you can still do something. You still earn something for the week. And apparently, the way it works, this is all coming from Manny over there on 4 Azeroth. So thanks, buddy. Look forward to seeing you at BlizzCon. He was talking about how the way it works is you have to go collect a whole bunch of currency from the assaults, like over there in the Vale. Mm-hmm. Some like coalesced essences or some crap like that. So basically, some currency.
We love currency.
And yeah, it's the best. And then you use that to do your horrific visions. So like the first one is like you need like just a couple, just a few. Mm-hmm. But the second one you need a little bit more. And then the third one you need a little bit more. And then the fourth one for the week it's like a shit ton. So yeah, they just ramp up exponentially. So it's like you can do a whole bunch of them in the week, but you also got to be grinding the shit out of the assaults. So yeah.
So that's how they'll gate it to an extent.
Pretty much.
Well, what was it? What did they do in Legion with the Mage Towers? Didn't they make it like more expensive, or it cost more of something in order to do those attempts? Because it wasn't. It
didn't cost more as you went. You always had the one free attempt.
That's what it was
for whenever it was up.
Okay.
And then all subsequent attempts, you had to spend the currency, but there was nothing else for you to spend that currency on, and you got it just for sneezing at things. So it's like,
that's right.
You had a shit ton of it anyways. It's like, oh, okay, I'll run it.
We're gonna spend it on something. Might as well spend it on showing how crappy I am at this game. Because whenever we do solo content, I always seem to be one of the last to get it done. So this, I'm really looking forward to this.
Took me a while to kill that imp mother. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was a while.
Yeah, I had to cheat basically. So that's how that goes. Once I discovered that there was a trinket that you could use that just ramped up your power on the demons, then I got it. Once I was in raid level gear, far beyond the level that it was supposed to be at, but. Speaking of raids, can't have a big patch without a big raid, and we're going to get a damn big one this time with Nyalotha, the Waking City itself, being a 12-boss raid. 12 12 big bosses.
12, yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen any of the PTR videos so far, but this place looks amazing, and it's fucking huge. Like, this is going to be one of those I need to ride around on a mount raids because we're never going to get anywhere, and it's going to take 12 minutes between pulls because it's a big damn place, and it looks crazy. It's like if you took all of the sort of Egyptian-esque old Doom vibe, giant pyramid type stuff, and then, I don't know, threw a bunch of crazy purpley old god eyeball madness on it, put it together, that's what you get. It's pretty awesome. So if you guys haven't looked at any of the PTR yet or seen any of the videos, you're in for a treat. It's quite something. And one of the things that struck me about seeing this place, and this is something that I don't know that we've really ever seen in Warcraft to this degree, is this entry into kind of a dead realm. And follow me if I can explain this correctly. I was recently watching Hellboy, which is a great movie to watch during Halloween season.
Yes.
And one of the things that the bad guy is doing, right, is he's trying to basically bring their version of old gods into the world. Sounds very familiar. And he talks a lot about, this dead world or hell or whatever it is. And Professor Bloom, I think, Broom also talks about that same concept. And throughout all mythology, really, there's concepts of darkness, of hell, of this otherworldly place. And at times we've kind of sampled it in Warcraft, but I don't know that we've ever really seen, at least in my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if we've ever seen like a full-blown this is hell, or this is like a darkness land or something like that. We've seen little bits and clips of things, and we've stepped into, I think, pockets of places. Like I'm thinking of the Emerald Nightmare raid. Like we were in that space, but this seems to be a lot bigger than that and a lot grander than that. But I don't know. I feel like I've been waiting for this for a while in game. Is what is their version of hell? What is their version of the Upside Down? What is their version of this ancient evil place that we're always scared of? Because that to me, more than any bad guy, more than any one thing, like that's a scary ass concept to bring in. Is here is the place where all the bad souls go, which is the void, and I don't know that we can even really, the way it's described, I don't know how well we can see that to an extent, but this seems like kind of the closest cousin to it. But for you guys, can you think of like another representation that we've had in game that's this sort of this place of hell, this place of darkness?
Yeah, the end of Siege, when we're fighting Gary there towards the end.
Yep. That's the closest to what we're about to see.
Yeah.
Is when Gary went all, blah, and he showed you the Stormwind version.
Everybody
That's
on
the
pikes and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
That's the closest to what we're getting here. But the closest thing to actual hell that you're talking about there, Mr. Berzerker, that would be Helheim. With Helia, because she basically did the kind of opposite of what Odin was doing, where it's like, oh, we're gonna come out here and hang out in the halls of valor, and she's like, no, you're gonna fucking hang out here with the goddamn watery grave, and it's gonna be of seaweedy and nastiness and awful.
But even then, I feel like that was just one island, right? Like
it was small.
It was one island in the middle of the ocean of the damned, right? Like that was kind of the thing. But this, like at least from the video I've seen, it looks. The landscape goes long way away.
Oh yeah, this is easiest the biggest, but it makes sense because the old god's free, so we've never dealt with a free old god before.
No,
it's new territory, so we'll see what happens.
Fucking scary, man. Now, we on this show try not to get too much into spoilery content. We like to be somewhat surprised. I do. Nav goes out and reads everything, so Nav gets a pass.
I'm careful with what I say because I do go out there and read everything.
But I will say that the first boss that we have in this raid is listed as Wrathion, which I don't like. So hopefully that's not real, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that that's some boo-boo thing that's not exactly real. We've also seen in the video that was shown that Ajara looks to be getting tortured. Am I seeing that right?
Yep.
Okay, because that doesn't sound right either. And then, of course, N'Zoth is going to be the final boss.
Correct.
I got it. Oh, good. N'Zoth going to be the final boss. We are going to need all of our allies and the power of Azeroth itself, or herself, to defeat N'Zoth, whatever that means. So I got to ask, Jin, what the hell is going on in there?
Well, I will start by talking about Wrathion a little bit.
Yeah.
The odds of us actually killing him is slim to none. Like almost non-existent. I mean,
yeah,
you forget the chick hanging out in the Heart Chamber, Mother. She was a raid boss. So it's like, come on. There's lots of raid bosses that just come help out later. Yeah, so it's fine. It's fine. And then if you're talking about when Ashara is being tortured, well, there's a little bit there. Apparently, and anyone who's avoiding spoilers too much, but I'll just tell you the reason why she's being tortured.
Okay.
Because she wanted Xalatath, and she wanted to use Xalatath to basically capture and or destroy N'Zoth.
Ooh.
Because she's a queen. She doesn't want to be on par with someone else. She wants to rule everyone.
This sounds familiar.
So it's like, I'm going to be the ruler. So, yeah. I'm going to take you out. So I'm the head. And at the same time, if she wants to rule all of Azeroth, she doesn't want it destroyed because she's... What else is she going to rule?
Right,
she's going to rule Azeroth.
I don't know. She's going to jump through one of these portals and rule the Nightmare World because that looks awesome. That looks like a great job. So one of the other things, and Nav, I think that you're more in touch with this whole system than I am, but in talking about patch 8.3, we've talked about the assaults, we've talked about the new raid, we've talked about the horrific visions, all that jazz, but the item that seems to be getting the most play with the community is the fact that it sounds like Titan Forging might be going away. So maybe you can help me with this. Why do people hate Titan Forging so much?
I think because the randomness of rolling something and having it because right now, if you want the really good gear, you do Mythic Plus, and you do high levels of Mythic Plus, and then you roll, and you can get a Titan Forge weapon, and a lot of people don't like the randomness of that, especially even in raids when you're doing Mythic and you're rolling on things. You can, roll things that are a little bit higher. So it's, I don't know. It's still RNG. I don't know why people hate it so much, but I mean, I think it's just the people want to keep people want to keep the rewards for the more difficult content and not have things on par when they're doing not as easier content, like going into heroic and rolling something and having it Titan Forge just as good as a mythic item or something like that.
Yeah, I still don't understand why people hate it. I think it's a nice random reward to get if you're, at least from my perspective as a heroic raiding team, when you're grinding on the same boss for a while and you get the same drops over and over and over and over and nobody's progressing at all, at least in terms of gear. And every once in a while a piece drops that has the Titan Forging on it and you get a little bump. Right. I mean, I think it's nice to have. I get the sort of, I guess, elitist attitude on that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really have a huge problem with it. My biggest thing though is the super duper uber randomness of it, where it's like, you can't really expect when you're going to get it. I think there was some system that they had back in the day where you could collect some kind of currency or something like that, and you could upgrade your gear. Like, honestly, I would prefer that, where it's like, you're talking about, it's like, it's over time. You can say like, okay, if you're stuck, grinding, like a good example would be like if you've just been pounding your head against Lady Ashvane for forever on heroic, because she's kind of a bitch on heroic.
It's a tough fight.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. It's a bit of a DPS check. So yeah, if it's been a while, you haven't really made much progress on there. It's at least you're slowly getting something that maybe you could up your power level. Slowly over time. But do I have a big problem with it? No. And people who complain about it on the forums, go fuck off. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, I'm on board with you there. It's
All right. Well, Sounds like they may be replacing it with something else. I don't know if we're calling it Death Forging or something else or
Void Forging.
Void Forging.
It'll probably be something along the same lines as the benthic stuff. You get something and then you can upgrade it later on with some things, or even with the what are we dealing with right now? The Titan Residuum, where you can go buy 450 item levels and just randomly roll a piece and you get a nice little 450 piece of gear. So
we love that currency.
Yeah,
I told you. We're gonna have 48
Currency's
slots
the
of
band.
Oh my god! They really need just like an exchange house to start dropping all that stuff and like, okay, I've got 48 tokens from back when we were raiding Demon Soul. Can I do something with these that's of any kind of modern value? But we're not gonna be doing that.
It'd be nice if you could turn it into like some transmog stuff or something at least.
That I
It's
would
like,
like.
give me
So instead of having to go through the entire raid.
something.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. So yeah, so we've got assaults, we've got horrific visions, we've got Nyalotha coming live with 12 bosses. We're possibly getting some exchange for Titan Forging, and we're also getting some new allied races. We did talk about this briefly last time. Volpera and Mechanomes. I will probably not be leveling either, although I do think that the Mechanomes are kind of cool. I mean, they look cool, but I don't know that I have it in me to get all the rep to be exalted with Mechagon.
I personally prefer the image that I saw on Reddit, where it was the Coltiran body with the Mechanome legs and arms.
that was a little ridiculous. Yeah,
That was a good one. That's what I want.
We're going to see some real interesting cosplay at BlizzCon in the years to come, I have a feeling. So we've got those coming. Kind of a surprise announcement amongst all the rest was they're redesigning the auction house, which I don't use it enough to really care that they're redesigning it, but I don't know. Jen, you sound pretty excited. Is there some benefit to this? And perhaps do you understand how this is going to work? Because I heard the explanation like 5 times. I still don't get how there's no undercutting or how does this fundamentally change the way that the auction house works now? I'm still not getting it.
It's kind of a fundamental shift in how things are being bought and sold. It's basically like things have market values, and you're just selling things at market value effectively. And it's kind of, I think a good example that you could look into is in Guild Wars 2, their auction house system. Mm-hmm. They actually had a method of allowing you to place almost like a purchase order and say, I just need this amount and I'm willing to pay this much. Like you could literally like just say, hey, I need, so many nom berries. It's a real thing. And you could say what you're willing to pay for it. And if someone was willing to sell it for that price, they could sell it to you. So that's not how it's going to work in WoW, but it's kind of like, I think what they actually said is like the most recent one is going to be sold. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still a little skeptical exactly how it's going to work. I was hoping that they would just completely rip off the Guild Wars 2 auction house. That auction house is fantastic. Like, it works wonders.
Well, what is it about that one that's so good?
It's just the way that you don't have to worry about it. You can just go in there and throw things up for, whatever the market price is going for, and it almost always sells. And you can even see what people are asking for, so you don't have to go looking around for looking for blah blah blah. You don't have to type in trade chat or anything. You can just post up things like I said. You basically create purchase orders and say, I need so X amount of item, and I'm willing to pay this amount, and then people can come in and fulfill those purchase orders if they have those that material. Yeah, so it was never an issue in trying to find what you needed. It's almost like the price line of auction houses. You name your own price. It's like, yeah, give me this.
Well, William Shatner was a supposed Warcraft player at one point, at least according to the ad that he filmed. So maybe we can.
He was a shaman, according to that.
He was a shaman. Good Lord. Well, we'll await how that actually works in practice. I will say that I personally have not had much of a problem with the way the auction house works now. I know how to find stuff. Long story short, that's how I managed to get enough materials to get my B mount. So I now have my B mount after long last. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you, auction house. for speeding that process along. Had no problem finding all the jelly I needed, so that worked great. I'm covered in it now. It worked out phenomenally. Yes, along with all of those, a couple of the things they mentioned, we're getting a heroic Darkshore Warfront. There's going to be a new PvP season. There's also going to be a related Keystone affix for Mythic runs. They're calling it the Black Empire Obelisk, where essentially you go into one of these rifts where an obelisk is, and you're able to go into essentially the alternate area, run through it, defeat some guys there, and then it seems like you kind of skip ahead. It's a way to get through different parts of the dungeons. I'm not really going to pretend to understand it that well because I don't do Mythic runs and I don't really care. So I'll leave that to Nav, so you can have fun. But before we move on, I did want to ask one question. It's about the Warfronts. Now, when we first started this expansion, Nav, you will remember I was excited as shit about these Warfronts. I was super pumped. I'm like, yes, we're putting the RTS into Warcraft, World of Warcraft. This is what we talked about. Super pumped. I haven't done one in probably 6 months. And I do not find them exciting at all. It's basically I just run with a group of people and we end up at the end and stuff happens and it seems totally inconsequential and it's not really a lot of fun. It's kind of been a letdown for me, but I don't know. What do you think, Dad? Do you think that these were a waste of an opportunity in this expansion, or am I just kind of in the minority here?
I don't think they were a big waste. I thought they were really fun. I'm still trying to collect the damn elite helm out of doing the storm. What do you call it? Stormguard? No. Stromguard Warfront. You know, that one's a lot of fun. I know people were like, "Oh, this was a big. We missed the opportunity with PvP." No, he didn't. This would have turned into an Arathi, an AV, all day. So it really, we didn't miss an opportunity with a PvP thing there. I like what Blizzard has done with the AI. This whole expansion is them testing their AI code and what they've done with the Warfronts, what they've done with the islands, things like that. We're going to see more of that, in the next expansion. So it's only going to get better from there. So I'm happy with what they did. I don't think it was a waste of time. And people going, "Oh, this is a waste of time." Again, I don't care. I don't play with those people. So
that's right. We don't play together. How about you, Jen?
Yeah. I wouldn't call them a waste of time. I enjoy them from time to time. Yeah. But for the most part, I kind of want to remind Blizzard that I don't play this game to be a peon or a peasant. Stop making me chop wood or go mine.
Yeah,
it's not interested.
You're a champion, goddammit.
I'm a goddamn warrior. I'm get in there and heroic leap and tear shit up. I don't want to go pick up that wood.
You're the leader of an entire class hall, and you're out there chopping wood and picking up stones.
It's just that part's not fun, but it's kind of necessary-ish, especially if you do it on heroic.
Yep.
Well, I would say when they put the Darkshore one out, and you had all of the Night Warrior Tyrande stuff going on, I was all about that because
I like that one.
That was badass, and that's going to come back at some point into play with whatever Tyranda's doing. We don't really seem to know yet, but it's going to be some hell to pay. And she's going to be in her full furious glory, and it's going to be amazing.
She's pretty happy being bad at the moment, so
yeah. I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
So coming out of this, we've talked a lot about the systems in 8.3. We're going to be fighting this Zoth. There's all this kind of stuff going on. But for me, kind of going back to Tyrande, there's a lot of the story elements of this that aren't being fleshed out, that are being held back, at least in my mind, to an extent. Okay, we know we're going to go into Nyalotha. We're probably going to be defeating the Zoth. There seems to be, at least what you're telling me, Jin, I see a plan that Sylvanas could probably pick up as her own and try to do something. That sounds great. But where do you, Jin, Mr. Lore, where do you think we go from here? We're knocking on the doorstep of BlizzCon. We know a little bit about 8.3. Where do we go? Where do we go next? And I'll be specific on this. Where do you think Sylvanas goes next? What's her plan?
I kind of just go back to what she kind of originally said, much like whatever that dude's name is, because when you call me Mr. Lore, I'm just kind of okay at lore. I just read books and retell the story. You know, whatever that guy was in that Wrathgate video, whatever his name is, where he says, you know, death to the living, death to the
Apothecary Putris.
There you go. That's him right there. Yeah. They just want to murder everybody. It's murder time. Come on.
It's murder time. That's the Sylvanas master plan. It's murder time.
Yeah. She's Hadouken everybody with her little, you know, shadowy death powers. Like, pow! That's what she does.
That's true. That was pretty brutal. What did you?
I mean, she's evil as shit.
What did you think of that cinematic?
Get over it. Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys talk a lot about, you know, yesteryear's stuff. What did you think about? What did you think about that cinematic for the end of the war campaign?
Oh, I mean, I thought the entire story arc of, you know, Saurfang was pretty much like, hey, everybody, just keep watching. Saurfang's gonna finally get his honorable death. Like, that was the whole lead up. Because, I mean, that's one of the whole the crazy story arcs that they that was in the books. War of the Ancients. Yeah, with his Saurfang's brother, the Broxagar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, Broxagar Saurfang. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I'm looking for my death. And Tyrande was like, is this like a suicide thing? What's going on? He's like, no. I'm going to kill myself. This is a bitch way out. No, I just want a good death. So, yeah, no, I thought the cinematic was awesome. And anyone who's like, oh, no, they're killing someone, it's total character assassination on Sylvanas. No, it's terrible. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure there's a quest line in the Forsaken where there's a bunch of just humans all buried up their necks, and you're just like, oh, you know, there's all sorts of crazy evil shit going on in there. And you think just, you know, zapping a Saurfang and shit like that is like, come on.
What? I appreciate the backup on the Sylvanas thing, because I still continue to see people claiming that this is some sort of last minute, as you put it, character assassination. I'm like, have you been paying attention for the last umpteen years? Like, this is who she is, man. There's no debate about this. You can like the character, and as I've said before,
I was gonna say I like her. She's a great character.
Very compelling.
She's a great
compelling.
Great villain. Great villain.
She's also evil. I mean,
she's super evil.
She gave up on her folks and was like, yeah, like you said, Hadouken to the face. I'm out. Peace. I'm going back to the Ghostlands. Oh, here we go. Yeah, big plan here. Nathanos loves me. I feel great. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, we opened this whole expansion with you can't kill Hope, and she's like, fucking watch me, bitch.
Light the fires. Now, Navox.
Yep.
This is our last show before BlizzCon.
Yes.
And this is our last chance to put a stamp on whatever it is we think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, as we record this, we have not seen a map.
Nope.
We have not seen a schedule.
Nope.
We have seen nothing about what's actually going to be at or seen or panels or nothing about BlizzCon. Which
Ian's going to put it all out tomorrow. We record tonight. He's going to put it all out tomorrow.
Thank you.
By the time you listen to this, Ian will already have put that out.
I just want to put that caveat out there. Because Nav and I have talked about this before. It's probably going to come out tomorrow. So
those assholes are recording tonight.
Yeah. Unshackled Fury's time. Oh, time for a new Unshackled Fury show. Let's put the shit out when they've already recorded.
I'll be editing my show tomorrow night, so if you just want to like hop on a call, I'll be like, oh, did you see that shit? Fucking Berzerker.
We'll just FaceTime and I'll pull it up on here. Like, hey, what do you think about that? Oh, it's amazing. There's 3 giant holes on the convention floor. What could they be? Diablo 4. Yeah. So, without knowing any of this stuff, Nav, your last best guess, now that we know what 8.3 is.
Yes.
We didn't have this last time. We think that there's some whispers of Northrend out there. We assume that we're going to defeat N'Zoth, and this is not going to be some we wake up, 20 years later and the world's taken over kind of thing. We were pretty sure that we're gonna win this one. Where do you think the next expansion goes? What is the theme? Like, is it going to be Lich King 2 Electric Boogaloo? Is it going to be Return of the Dragonflight? Is it going to be what do you think?
It's going to be a hodgepodge of everything. I think we're going to get everything that we loved. It's going to be like some sort of like Whispers of the Past type deal. Because if you look at what's coming out with the new, because they're going to debut Warcraft, or I'm sorry, they're going to re-release the Warcraft 3 Enhanced Edition, right? That's
Reforged.
That's the Reforged edition, right?
Still
now
waiting.
they're showing some of these character models that are coming out. Some
That's
things
amazing.
So the things that Blizzard usually tie things in. So I'm almost wondering if we're going to see, more stories of. I think they're going to bring. I think we're going to see more stories of the past brought into the game. I know, yes, we'll probably have a run-in with the Lich King, but I have a feeling we'll see some stories with, Arthas, and we'll see some more stories of Sylvanas before she was, turned into her Lich form, Banshee form, sorry. Things like that. I have a feeling we'll come face to face with Varian again, in the next expansion in some form. It's probably going to be some sort of like homecoming of all this old stuff, and it's all just going to be this culmination of things leading up to the point where we're head to head with Sylvanas. We're on a crash course with Sylvanas. It's like she's still got plans.
Warcraft reunion.
Yeah, Warcraft reunion. That's what it is.
I've avoided every single one of mine so far, so this will be the only one I attend. And how about you, Jen? Where, based on everything that we've seen, what do you, if you had to guess at a title for the expansion announcement that we're all pretty sure is going to happen here at BlizzCon, do you have a guess? Do you have a feeling? Do you have an inkling? Do you have a tingle as to where the story's going?
Yeah, the title is going to be Warcraft. Oh shit. Yeah, things are busted. We got to fix it. No, I don't know. I just enjoy this story. I don't pretend to know where the hell they're going to take it. Every single time I've tried to guess in the past, I've been way off.
What was the other one? Corgi Island? That was one.
Corgi's Unleashed.
Yeah, the Corgi Island. Corgi's Unleashed.
Corgi's Unleashed. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, no, this one is going to be Wrath of the Burning Pandaria. It's going to be...
Yeah.
It's going to be everything.
The point that you make is a good one, because I think every time we've ever tried to guess, we've been horribly wrong. Like, Battle for Azeroth was on no one's radar. Like, I think we had one tiny leak about it leading up to it somewhere on an MMO Champion forum, but for the most part, I don't think that this was on anyone's radar. No. So, that being said, I'm still going to make a guess. And here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to have Sylvanas in her quest to either defeat or become death. Mm-hmm. Will use the Black Blade of the Empire to consume the power of the old god, become powerful enough to destroy the Lich King, become the leader of the Scourge army, and try to destroy the world, and then we have to take her on with the Dragonflights, who have somehow been re-empowered by our Heart of Azeroth.
Sylvanas with Xalatath in the library.
You got it.
Now it was Miss Scarlet in the study with the noose. Damn it. Fucking get your shit wrong every goddamn time.
It was the pipe. Fuck.
It's the lead pipe. Professor Plum, damn it.
Yeah, it is curious that we are this close and have no idea what's coming. And I I've seen a lot of naysayers out there about they haven't put out a schedule because of this, or they haven't done it because of that. Honestly, I think it's because they really do have so much that they want to surprise us with and announce this year that they're trying to hold it as close to the vest as possible for as long as they can.
I think the craziest thing that everyone needs to remember is that when they were talking about badge pickup, they were talking about, hey, you know that big basement area? It's not going to be down there this time. They're probably going to use that entire basement area for, like, I don't know, gaming stations. It's going to be nuts.
Have you ever been to a BlizzCon?
Yeah, I've been to 5. 5?
All right. Yeah. So you know that, I mean, they change it up all the time, and they have that new hall now where they put a bunch of other stuff up by the hotel. So you can't, you never know.
The Hearthstone Hall.
The Hearthstone Hall. The Dark Moon Fair Hall. I think is pretty much what that's become. But so you've seen it yourself. You never know. There is no rhyme or reason as to where they're going to put something or how they're going to lay something out. It's however they decide for that year, and they've planned it out well in advance. So it's not like they don't know. They just are choosing not to tell us. So we have a lot of surprises in store for us. I'm pretty excited about it. And one last thing about BlizzCon before we head on to our last item. What do you think is going to be the biggest surprise that they have left? Do you think it's going to be something about an existing game, or do you think that they are finally going to unleash a new IP? Nav.
StarCraft first-person shooter.
Jin.
I don't know.
I think we're going to get our first StarCraft mobile game. Or Pet Battles mobile game. Because I'm pretty sure that's what Corey Stockton's been working on for the last 19 years. So if I had to put a bet on something, I'm going to say mobile pet battle game.
Every day he just storms out of the conference room like, God damn it.
Goes and drinks a 6-pack of Shinerbach in the parking lot. It's like, fuck this. I want to play bastards. I want to play Warcraft Pokemon. All right, folks. So, yes, we have a lot on the horizon. 8.3 is coming. It's going to be old Gotti. It's going to be naughty. It's going to be a bunch of other things that, frankly, are going to scare the piss out of me. But we're going to do it anyway because that's what we do. And hopefully BlizzCon will shine a little light on that and give us an idea of what's going on. But before we go, in the tradition of Hallow's End, just want to announce that we do have our second BlizzCon virtual ticket contest now running. We are honoring Hallow's End by having a contest very similar to the one we ran last week, which essentially we want you to go in a game, put on your best Hallow's End transmog, take a screenshot of it, and tweet it to us. Follow the show, tweet it to the show, and use the hashtag Hallow's Fury. That's all you got to do. Nav and I, we got 3 more tickets to give away, and we're going to be selecting winners at random. You have until 11:59 p.m. on Friday the 25th to get your entry to us on the Twitter. It's 11:59 and not 11 because, frankly, I'm going to be at a concert with Jen, and I'm not going to have time to go through and select any winners. So that's how that goes. You get a little extra time. I might be home by then. I don't know. I'll be deaf. We'll be full of Viking metal and anger, and it's going to be crazy. So, yes. So,
you want to be Vikings?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. You better row the boat, or I'm going to throw a beer on you. So, yes, we have our second BlizzCon virtual ticket contest running. Like I said, take a screenshot of your best Hallow's End transmog. Follow our show on Twitter at @unshackled_fury. Tweet it to us there using the hashtag Hallow's Fury. And that's it. Just get it in by Friday night. So, well, I think it's going to do it for us on this episode. We certainly talked long enough, taken up enough of your time, sir. So I want to thank our guest, Jin, coming on the show and sharing all of his brilliant insight into all things Warcraft, especially on the lore end of things. Thank you, sir. Before we sign off, where can the people check you out and all of your comings and goings?
Well, you can find the show on Twitter over at Morally Gray Pod. You can go over there on Facebook and Instagram and shit. You can find it on YouTube too, but it's kind of crap. Don't do that. You can do it on Twitch. It's all over. Just search for Morally Gray Pod. It's all over the place. And then just for funsies, if you are going to be at BlizzCon, I'm going to be there too. I'm going to be hanging out with Shoe Boots from Merely a Setback,
Nice.
as well as Allie from Dungeon Fables, and the true villain Manny himself. We're going to be hanging out at a little meetup over there at the. It's kind of in the middle of the Calm Before the Storm. Yeah, we have decided to call it, since we're a bunch of lore nerds, the Council of Beerusfall.
Oh,
Make sure you guys go up to Pyromancer and say hi.
Like, what's up, buddy? Did you get it? This is my friend Shoe Boots. He has something to say to you. Oh, wait, he can't because you blocked him.
I love that Twitter drama.
It's gonna be. little meetup that's going to be 10 p.m. At the Hilton in the, they're kind of right immediately following the Warcraft panel because Shoe Boots is on the Warcraft panel. So
Awesome.
Fantastic. All right, and as for you, Nav, other than this fine program, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me out on Twitter and Twitch. I am at NAV_OX.
As for me, and sort of piggybacking off of Jin here, I will be representing the Unshackled Fury podcast on the Pod Before the Con as part of the Con Before the Storm stream activities they've got going on. We'll be streaming at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so you'll see myself and a few other people out there. As we mentioned on the last show, Frasley is going to be our moderator, so I'm sure that's going to get out of hand very quickly, so we're very excited about that. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Berzerker Rage and this show at Unshackled_Fury. You can also find this show on Twitch at Unshackled Fury. That's I actually managed to get that channel for our show. It's amazing. And we are still going to be having our first live Twitch show on Friday night, November the 1st, right after BlizzCon ends. So feel free to tune in and see whatever we're up to there. Like I said, I've been smoking a pork shoulder all day, so I'm going to be a mess and smelly, and I'm going to look amazing. So Nav will have to be the beefcake for that show. But we're looking forward to that. Feel free to find us out there on Twitch. You can always send your questions, comments, and otherwise to us here on the show at unshackledfuryshow@gmail.com. And you can find this show on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high. And we'll see you next time. Farewell.